good conversation tonight with a lady named Tash, and she said she goes to a church locally, and she thought she was going to go to heaven though because she's a good person. And so I went through the law with her, and she recognized that she had sinned in her life, but she said, I'm going to go to heaven because I've asked God for forgiveness. And so I explained, well, simply asking God for forgiveness doesn't mean your sins can be forgiven. But she's like, but I haven't sinned since January. I'm like, wow, even if that's the case, it doesn't get rid of your past sins. Plus, I reckon you probably have sinned since January because, Jesus said, lust is adultery of the heart, coveting is a sin as well. We can sin simply in our mind. She's like, oh, I guess I have. And so then I explained the gospel to her, and this was really interesting. She was like, wow, this actually makes sense to me. No one's told me this before.
That's great.
And so I was really excited to hear that. And she said, look, I came to the market tonight to buy slime for my son. But now I've come to understand something really awesome. And so I asked her a few more questions to see if she really understood the gospel, and she did. So I just pray that, it is genuine and that she does now start reading the Bible. I did encourage her to open her Bible to read it, because there's no other book that's more precious than the Bible. And so please keep her in your prayers. Thanks.
Oh, it was pretty good. I had a Hindu couple who were very interested, and when I started saying, would you like to hear the gospel message, they were saying, yes, tell us more, so that was really good. I also had a Muslim man who was went on and on forever. We got nowhere, so that was not very good. And I had lots of people who, I go right through the gospel message thing, and then at the end they say, oh yeah, I'm a Christian, but then I thought, well, why didn't you already say that in the beginning? Because they seem to have no idea. So that was a lot of that tonight. So, and then I had a Buddhist guy, and he just said he's seen all the Christianity stuff, and he's a Buddhist, and he's rejecting all the Christianity stuff.
Two chats tonight. One was with a man who was raised Jehovah's Witness but now wasn't practicing, and he seemed to be absolutely 100% certain that Jesus could not be God, and the Bible couldn't say that he was. But then after I showed him some verses that the Bible does say that, he said, well, we all have our different beliefs. So he was a little bit frustrating. And the other conversation I had was with an atheist who had heaps of questions by which he tried to disprove the existence of God, the unreliability of the Bible, and the unreliability of the Christian religion, but he wasn't really waiting for answers to the questions. As soon as I tried to answer, he would just move on to the next question. So I had to take it that he wasn't really sincere in his search for the truth. I did try to show him the illogical position he was holding by saying if he has no evidence for God, therefore God does not exist. But I honestly don't know if that got through. But praise God, at least a lot of tracts went out, and people were able to hopefully be put in a position where they will have to go home and ask themselves some questions about God, and I pray that they will.